What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So you understand how to do the analysis, you understand the volume profiles, you know how to find your key levels, but you're wondering, what should you actually be looking for? What are those exact confirmations that you need to look at in order to actually enter your trade? In today's video, I want to talk about just that, and I want to do a little bit of a trade recap on a little scalp long that I entered this morning with my premium Discord. That is starting to play out just a little bit here, and I wanted to actually break down what I looked at to enter this trade, and more specifically, how I used LuxAlgo to snipe the bottom of the move for this little pump to the upside. Although it's not much of a pump, but as you guys know, as traders, we do not need to catch that next big move all the time. But even when price is ranging around and super boring, as it is right now, we can always hop on those lower time frames and take those smaller positions. So I want to cover all that today because one of the most common questions I get, guys, is, Frankie, I understand the analysis, I know how to find those key levels, but what the heck do you look for to actually enter the trade? And I've gone over these LuxAlgo entry strategies before on the live stream, but I just wanted to break down some of the stuff that I use and exactly what I look at here in order to not only find a trade, but also how to enter and what I specifically look for to do so. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and break down this little scalp long. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and as always, any trade should start with a plan. So we have to do our base analysis, figure out the context of the market so we can have a better idea of where we can expect price to go, because we don't just want to enter any willy-nilly trade that isn't really there and then just cross our fingers and hope price goes in our direction. This is why most people lose money trading. So to start off, I want to take a look here. Obviously, we are kind of consolidating here. This is the 1 hour time frame, and as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the volume profiles. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Frankie Candles Essentials, which is in collaboration with LuxAlgo. It's 100% free. So you guys can go ahead and grab this indicator, add it to your chart right now, follow along. But you just come on over to your indicators and you type in my name, Frankie Candles, and you can see right here, it is Frankie Candles Essentials by LuxAlgo. Make sure it is the one by LuxAlgo. You will not see the other ones. You'll only see the main one. Go ahead and click that, and then you find your anchor points, and you just pull this as a typical volume profile. And I'm actually going to disable the Fibonacci levels just to clean up the chart a little bit. But as you guys can see here, obviously we did have this little volume profile, and it was getting respected as we deviate from the highs. We expect to go to the POC and then eventually back down to the value area low. Once we tap that value area low, everybody gets scared. Oh my God, we're going to zero. This is where we look for the longs in anticipation of getting back up to that POC and eventually the value area high. And then we eventually deviate from the high, back in, bearish retest, back to the low, back to the high, back to the low, and then finally we have broken down, bearishly retested, and gotten rejected out of the range. Now, what this tells me is that within the context of this range, price is now in a little bit of an oversold territory or an undervalued price, and this is where we typically like to look for longs in anticipation of at least coming back up to the value area low, and if not, we look to flip that value area low to support and then get a move back up to the POC and the value area high. Pretty run-of-the-mill volume profile trading if you keep up with the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Now, this is kind of what gives me the idea that maybe we can look for long positions. So this is how I try to get some context into the market. Now, I am aware that we're on the 1 hour time frame. So again, you know, this is not something I'm looking to hold into next week. It's just one of those smaller scalp trades that I'm looking to get into for the day or maybe a couple of days, get into that long, capitalize on that small move, as sometimes as price action is consolidating, we do wind up having to be a slave to these sideways markets, but that does not stop the Mafia from trading every single day and catching these little moves and capitalizing on them. And I'm going to show you guys how you can do that as well right now. So we understand that we're a little bit undervalued. We could be looking for longs here, but we want to make sure that we are coming down to a key level of support. If we do not have any support down here, there is no reason to take a long, as we likely would not bounce from the level. However, we did have a weekly naked point of control sitting right here. This was actually a level that we were waiting for quite some time in the Discord. And like I said, all good trades start with an actual plan. And this is a post I put in the premium Discord letting everybody know, hey, if we break down out of this range, I will be keeping my eye on this long zone and looking for X specific confirmations to get into the trade, which again, I'm going to show you guys some of those right now, or at least the ones that I like to look at on LuxAlgo. So we have that weekly naked point of control here, and we did wind up obviously getting that breakdown, and we wound up coming directly down to that level. Now, this is why I always say trading is a game of trapping and not a game of hunting. We like to sit on our hands, wait for price to come to those high probability areas, and then we like to analyze the price action within that key level and then see if there's actually a trade to take. This takes a lot of patience, and let me tell you guys, if there's one thing that will not only make you a lot of money trading, but also save you a lot of money trading, it is simply waiting for the higher probability trades and not just taking random setups. And I know that can be hard sometimes, but as we've come down to this weekly naked point of control, this is where I like to see if we're getting the actual confirmations. Is there even a reason to look for a bounce down here? And again, if you guys keep up with the channel, you know one thing that I really like to look at are divergences. And as you can see here, not only is the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator pointing out a little divergence that we had right here, but you can also see this bullish divergence is confirmed on the LuxAlgo oscillator matrix right here, marked out by this gold line. This is really good for a lot of people who are maybe new to the charts and not really sure on what they should be looking at for these divergences. But you can see we have the lower lows on price action into that key level, which was that weekly naked point of control. And we had our LuxAlgo oscillator matrix coming on up here, giving us that higher low, which is a bullish divergence. But again, LuxAlgo will mark that out for you with this gold line. And the free Frankie Candles Essentials indicator will also mark it out with these lines and sauce cans. However, simply put, guys, we came down, we put that bullish divergence in at that key level of support, and this is where I'm saying to myself, hey, this might be a decent area to maybe look for a little bit of a scalp long. Now, remember, the higher time frames do still look a little shady right now as far as the bearish case, but like I said, the plan for this trade, which is absolutely essential, was a small scalp position. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the sentiment here on the 1 hour, seeing that bullish divergence confirmed. So let me go back in bar replay mode just to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here. Again, we did come down to this key level and we started to break it just a little bit. This is where I'm saying, hey, we're at that key level of support. Let me check out those confluences. I come over to that 1 hour. I do see the 1 hour bullish divergence confirmed, which could point out a potential local reversal, which is exactly what I'm looking at to make a little bit of money here. So I see that 1 hour bullish divergence, and now I'm coming down to the lower time frames, usually between the 15-minute and the 1 minute. This is where I come down and I look for my actual entry. And this is kind of the point where people say, Frankie, I get it. You deviate below the range. I see the bullish divergence, but do you enter on the bullish divergence? How do you do it? What if you miss the initial move to the upside? Where can I enter in on a retracement? And that is exactly what I'm going to show you right now, because as you guys can see, we actually did wind up getting a bit of a move back to the upside, and I actually did not enter my trade here. So technically, I missed the bounce off that initial 1 hour bullish divergence, but at that point, guys, what I like to do here is I use the price actions concept indicator on LuxAlgo, and what I like to do is I like to look at all of the internal market structure. I turn off the swing market structure and only look at the internal, which will give me more signals, so to say. It just shows you the internal market structure changes, and basically what I look for here, guys, is I look for a bullish change of character, letting me know that we may be changing trends. And as you know, my sentiment is already to be looking for a long position based off that 1 hour time frame. So I am totally fine seeing that bullish change of character, confirming that we may be changing trends. And this is where I look for an entry on a pullback. Now, typically when you enter on a retracement, I typically wind up looking at Fibonacci retracement levels, because as we know, if we are going to put in a higher low and continue up, we have to put in that higher low somewhere. And oftentimes it does come in between the golden pocket and 786 Fibonacci retracement level. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is when you see this bullish change of character, it's already telling you that you're likely changing market structure, right? You're changing the trend to a bullish trend. Now, this is what makes me think to myself, I am safe, so to say, to enter in on a retracement. So I'm simply remaining patient. And the way I use LuxAlgo to enter these trades, guys, is this is what I show on the live stream oftentimes. But what I will do is I'll pull up the LuxAlgo signals and overlays, and I actually look for the bullish smart trail. this behaves very similarly to a moving average. As you guys can see, once you are below that bearish smart trail, typically when you come back up to it, it will act as resistance. And this is actually, while also keeping in mind market structure and the overall context of the market, this could be great places to look for those lower highs to come in, or potentially a higher low in our case for this trade. So in theory, if we do wind up coming down here, and this is a legitimate trend change, and we are going to come down and put in a higher low, I'm looking at Fibonacci retracements, and if I can get this smart trail to flow right through that golden pocket 786 retracement, that would make that somewhat of a golden zone for me to actually take my entry. So as you can see, if we go ahead and pull that Fibonacci retracement from the low to the local high, you can see that that smart trail is right in our zone, which is, again, that kind of golden opportunity to enter in on the higher low, in my opinion. And as you can see, we do wind up coming down. We slip that 786 just slightly, and then we grab it again as support. This is where I wound up entering my position, and I will show the live trade in just a minute, give or take exactly where I got filled, but this is what made me take that position. And we went ahead and hopped in, and this wound up actually pretty quickly turning in our favor, giving us that move to the upside that we were looking for. And here we are actually in real time continuing to climb. Now, let me go ahead and pull up that position for you guys really, really quickly here. And like I said, this is a smaller position for me. We're up about $400. With this YouTube channel, guys, I am a little bit torn. Sometimes I show big trades. Sometimes I show small trades. I like to keep it somewhat realistic at times to show people that you don't necessarily need to be making 10K a day or 10K a week, whatever it is. It takes a long time to become a profitable trader. And I like to show these more, tangible numbers for someone who may just be starting out. And I know on YouTube and on social media, all these like gurus will tell you like, oh, make 10K a day laying on the beach. And to me, this is just disingenuous. And I think that it's a little bit more, not only realistic, but a little bit more tangible for a new trader to see, hey, he's up $400. I entered this trade this morning, guys, and I know there's a lot of people out there, especially if you're still learning how to trade, where an extra $400 or $100 even a day could absolutely change your life or even just pay some bills. And, this is totally realistic, in my opinion. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's kind of the reason behind this YouTube channel. I just want to show people that it's completely possible to make money trading. It's not a scam. But here we are, up about $400 on this trade, so it is actually playing out pretty well. I'll get rid of that Fibonacci retracement, and it is starting to play out really well. So there you go. And this is I know it says I have $6,700 in here, which is true. I have $6,700 on this trade. It's actually a $40,000 position. I'm on 6x leverage. So the reason I'm trading with so much of my own money right here is just simply because I'm using lower leverage, right? If you have less capital, you could simply use higher leverage, which again comes with a lot of risk. So if you're new to leverage, please take it easy. Don't rush into leverage. Demo trade at first if you have to. But I know a lot of people are like, I don't have $6,700 to just dump on a trade. But you could use way less capital. I'm using very low leverage right now compared to what I usually use. So just keep that in mind. But a quick $400 for the day is not too shabby, especially again, if you're new at trading and just starting out. Definitely some realistic results. And there you go. That beautiful, beautiful entry right on that smart trail golden pocket retracement. I know a lot of people ask me about this. Frankie, I don't really understand. Can you walk us through that? So here we are. Like, I don't know a better way to show this other than like a live trade that I actually took an entry based off this strategy. And very simply put, guys, it's about finding that overall context on the higher time frames, which again, remember, was the fact that we were undervalued here below the value area. And my plan for this trade is simply, we are undervalued. We found the long entry right at the bottom. This is like one of those times where people are like, how did you snipe the bottom like that? This is literally how I did it. Now, obviously, I do use other techniques. Every trade is a little bit different, but for this particular entry, right now, I didn't use the smart trail for the trading idea, right, on the 1 hour. I used the volume profile for that, right? But to actually find that entry, we go down to that 10-minute, and we see that golden pocket 786 smart trail retracement, and we get in there, and then we come back up to the 1 hour to manage the trade. And the thought process here, guys, is if we can get back up to this value area low, this would be a key level of resistance, in my own personal opinion, as this is kind of the level that is not only going to be strong resistance, we also have that 1 hour smart trail trail, which is obviously going to be a bit stronger than the 10-minute smart trail, coming in almost in beautiful confluence with that value area low, making this a very, very key area to be looking to potentially take some profit and then move my stop loss to break even, or maybe even move that stop loss into profit. But then the thought process is, if we can get above this value area low, and this is why I say a plan is extremely important, if we can get above that value area low and we can hold it as support, which I don't know if that's going to happen. That's why I have to have a plan and assess things as price action develops. But if we get above that value area low, I will simply look to either take profit, move my stop loss, and then hold a portion of the trade, because once we're inside that value area and we hold that value area low as support, we know the next likely place for price to go is going to be that POC, which is sitting here at 63,881, as well as the value area high getting closer to about 64,250. So, if we wound up coming up here and then rejecting, I will have already taken profits. It would be a guaranteed winning trade. And another really cool feature here of LuxAlgo, guys. Now, again, I like to take profit based off key levels, but if you come on into the LuxAlgo signals and overlays settings, you could come on over to style, and I have these automatically hidden just to clean up the chart, but I do pull them up from time to time when I'm looking for some good take profit levels. And if you go ahead and highlight bullish exit and bearish exit, you will see these orange and blue X's, which I can't find a blue X here, right there. Let me turn off the TA here for a second. But you can see these blue X's and these orange X's is actually the indicator letting you know that if you are in a short position, this might be a good place to take some profit as we may bounce, right? So not only can you use this as a take profit on your short, but you could also use this as a potential signal of a reversal. Right? Now, I want to be very clear. I've been told by the team at LuxAlgo that these actual take profits are based off the buy and sell signals on LuxAlgo Premium, and any sell signal will have a maximum of 3 take profits, and any buy signal will have a maximum of 3 take profits on the way up. And you can see we don't have any blue X's here, so it hasn't told us to take profit just yet, but this is a nice and easy guess-free way to figure out where to be taking profits. Now, you can see you did have a strong buy signal down here. Now, these are confirmation signals. You can't just trade a buy and sell signal like you would hope you can, just buying and selling them. But this is indicating a potential move to the upside. And then you can see you had one take profit here. You had another take profit here. And then your last take profit did wind up popping up right here. That was your third one. And this is why I say, if you wind up seeing the third X pop up as you're looking for a short, that take profit, that long take profit could work as a potential reversal signal. Now, I wouldn't just trade this alone, but it's just another little confirmation that you can have in your tool belt to help you make more confident and well-rounded, educated decisions. And again, we don't have any take profits on this move just yet, but it's just something you could take a look at, and it's a super cool, nice, simple feature of LuxAlgo signals and overlays. And that's about it, guys. Simply put, find your context, right? And like I said, the context of this, even if we came up to the value area high, is a little bit of a scalp, right? It's a small day trade. It's nothing too crazy. I'm not looking to like hold this to 100K or anything like that. But this is how you can simply make, I'm up $400 for the day, right? And that's only on this one trade. Obviously, I still have a short open from the POC of the range at 67,000, which I already have $720 locked in, as well as $712 currently in unrealized profit. But this one trade was taken a few hours ago. And I know there's a lot of people that could have even $100 a day, at least pay for a bill or something like that. Kind of want to push against this. You have to be making 10K a day, because I know it can be overwhelming to new people. So guys, shout out to LuxAlgo for helping me find that sniper entry. And I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys a little bit of an explainer on that strategy. And again, I just figured what better way to explain it to you guys and show you a live trade that we took in the premium Discord today. So with all that being said, shout out to LuxAlgo. If you guys are interested in checking out the indicators, go ahead and check the link in the description down below. They got 30-day money-back guarantees, or head over to FrankieCandlesTrading.com, where we have all of our deals, whether you want to sign up for one of the exchanges that I trade on, such as Femex, as you saw right here, or you want to get some discounts on your favorite indicators, etc. Or if you want to get one of these saucy Frankie Candles hats, go ahead and hit up FrankieCandlesTrading.com. It's kind of our hub where we keep all of our deals. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for today's video. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll.